Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Welcome to the Black Lincoln Collective podcast.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. We can stay up late, swapping manly stories, and in the morning, I'll make it pop.
With your host, Parker. Featuring the sultry sounds of Fred and also Allan on the board.
Let's go already!
You don't drink beer?
And now, let's start the damn show.
I just imagine Matt drinking a thing of Hennessy. It just made me laugh. That's like,
Yeah. The thing about it is, Fred, that whatever we do for this show, I spread the wealth. So I want to make sure that you and Allan get all the beers.
Person. I'm
not going to get you good beers. I'm going to buy the beers,
Busch
take
Light.
you, and then buy them for me.
Keystone.
Yeah, you guys want some Busch Lights? So, welcome to the 68th edition of Black Lincoln Collective. Yeah, again. I like that he waited.
Yeah, he did.
I know. It's a great time, Allan. Of the Black Lincoln Collective podcast. Of course, I am your host, Parker. I am so thankful that you guys are listening. We had a great show for you tonight. It's going to be huge. And we are, of course, coming to you on the Pop Culture Pros Network and all the Google and Apple and every other kind of podcast app you can think of. Of course, we also have a YouTube, a Twitter, and a Patreon, which Fred's about to donate to buy himself a beer. So, of course, let me introduce the hostesses with the mostesses. It's Fred and Allan. How are you guys tonight?
Good, man. I'm good. I'm ready.
You excited? You excited? I'm excited. Momentarily, we're going to be joined by Craig and David from CRA Entertainment. They make amazing independent movies, and we're like kind of obsessed with them. So, and not in a creepy way, fellas. If you can hear me. Maybe Allan in a creepy way, but the rest of us, we're just like, hey, cool.
I think they left.
They probably, if they haven't yet, they're But so we're joined by them. We can't wait to talk to them about some of these amazing movies that they're making. And let's bring them on right now, Allan.
All right, let's bring them on.
Do you have music? Do you have clapping? I thought you had clapping.
I do have clapping.
You're supposed to do. You can do two things at once. I can't.
Yeah, there we go.
There's one. There it is. Of course, our live studio audience loves it. So, again, I apologize for. I'm going to go ahead and apologize.
Look at David. I agree to this.
I know. Whatever Allan does,
Craig, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you one day, Craig.
Try to control him, and he won't let me do it. So, of course, like I said, you guys are the guys, the brain trust behind CRA Entertainment, and again, you guys have got a ton of movies out. So please tell us a little bit about yourselves. Where can people follow you guys?
Well, I'll start real quick. Well, you got to get my name right, ESPINOSA, but that's okay. I mean, I'm visiting you guys with a lot of gastral expression, so I figured anything goes.
It's true.
It's all good.
Yeah, you have free range here.
Don't worry. We try not to, even though we record these things, our thinking is most people probably won't listen to them, so we probably won't get in trouble for much. It's the good thing about your audience when your audience is like just your parents and
Yeah.
But no, we are, like I said, we're so awesome that you guys are here. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. We were talking, of course, before the show. Fred wasn't because he was late, but I called you out on it. After all, I did it live on the air, Fred. What are you gonna do? But so you guys, obviously, like I said, we're broadcasting here from South Carolina, and you guys are in California, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
And yet we can watch your movies on all over the place on YouTube, Tubi. Where else? I saw. Where else did I see we can watch on?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, and all over the place. Of course, your website as well, which Allan I think already put up on the board.
Yep.
So guys, I gotta ask. We have a bunch of questions for you. We're not gonna go too crazy. We don't want to drive you insane or anything like that. But or we'd also, of course, love to have you back on sometime. So out of you guys, a few movies that we've watched. It was Love in Quarantine, which just came out. Demon Fighter, which I can already tell you is going to be a favorite of ours. We love.
Yeah, Demon Fighter.
We're big kung fu movie fans.
Yeah.
So like when you add in like Supernatural with kung fu, it's love at first.
Got me.
Yes.
Of course, the Crumbs, Evil Down the Street. All these are just great movies you guys got to check out. But out of all
the movies, since he's off the
Out
air.
of all the movies in all the world, I had to watch this one.
Yeah. Which one was the favorite one to make?
Wow. That's tough because they're all hard work.
Right.
They all take a lot of preparation. And by the time we get to where we're shooting them, we've already spent anywhere from 8 months to a year in preparation.
Wow.
Because we're not weekend warriors. We set a shoot schedule.
Sure.
And we've shot everything inside of 2 weeks, all of our films.
Wow.
On time and on budget. That's important for us. And that takes coordination. That takes extreme cooperation with people.
Right.
So we feel, and as to which is my favorite to shoot, I think I had some of the most fun on Love in Quarantine. I enjoyed doing them all. But Love in Quarantine is such a crazy film. One of the best compliments we got was it was ridiculous and stupid and funny, and they just loved it. So, that's what it was about.
Yeah, those are our favorite kind of movies right there. I love it.
And that was, it did a good job encapsulating what quarantine was for everybody. Like, it was crazy, messy, and just like, at times.
And stupid. I'm not going to say that. I'm not saying stupid.
No, we were just stupid.
But like, yeah. There are a lot of stupid people.
Well, I was going to say we, and by we, I don't mean like, I don't mean me.
I don't mean myself.
Here, where we're down here in the deep south, people didn't believe in quarantine.
Yeah.
So Walmarts were always packed, and that's like everyone's favorite place to go here because that's all that there is. So at times, but so we definitely know, like, it was just one of those things. It had you scratching your head a lot, but in a good way, of course. Like I said with the movie, Allan kind of stole my
your question,
my thunder with his question. No, it's good though. That means he did his research, which he usually doesn't do.
There you go.
So I'm proud of him for that. Great job, Allan. But so you said you guys shoot. Yeah, I know. Obviously, you have, like you said, a rigid shooting schedule. You said you shoot everything in like 2 weeks each movie, or
I think we went over on one film, Craig. 16 days, something like that.
Yeah, as our first film, people down the street because of weather. Remember that rain, David, we had? And so we shoot 6 days on, one off, typically Sunday. And Saturday we had outdoor scenes, and it was raining. So everybody had a weekend to themselves, if you will, and we had to pick up that day.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you guys.
Awesome,
but that's amazing that you can do that and
get
everything shot.
Like you said, you got to have coordination. I mean, that's probably like one of the biggest jobs on a movie set is making sure everybody is where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there.
Well, I have to say with David, he gets all the high fives of our pre-production.
Yeah.
So when we show up, it's not like, well, why don't you go over there? And it was just right. You'd say a 2-week film turned out to be maybe 2 months. So David spends a lot of time in pre-production, the shot schedule, just everything. So when we in a lot of meetings with the crew.
Yeah.
So when day one shows up, we're ready to rock and roll. And without that pre-production, if we didn't have that, we'd be in a world of hurt because you have things that go on when you shoot a film, things that you're not anticipating. David mentioned Love in Quarantine. I would not have picked Love in Quarantine as my favorite film, but I can see why David did. But we had one day, it was on Saturday, our on-set editor came to us and told us that he lost the previous day's footage. It was gone. Gone. And shortly thereafter, he was also gone. But it was just not cool. So those are the things, like I say, that if we didn't have a tight schedule going into it, you'd have some major
It'd be major chaos.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine, like, I mean, looking at the like how complicated, I mean, just the different scenes and everything. I can't imagine how much planning has to really go into that. We put about not
3
enough time
to
every
4
week.
minutes.
3 to 4 weeks. No, that's not true. Some of us do, again, but no, we don't plan that much by any stretch. We definitely don't have anything as nearly as complicated as what you guys have, and we're still like half the time we're just like, oh my gosh, what are we? Why did we not plan this better? And so I can't imagine how many times you had to go through and say, oh crap, I didn't do that, or I forgot that before you guys got the hang of it.
That's one of the things that has allowed Craig and I to secure investors, faith with our crew and the actors.
Right. Because
everybody gets paid. We don't ask anybody to work for free, even though we're indie. No. Everybody gets paid. We feed everybody. If you're there for 3 meals, you get 3 meals. Mm-hmm. And if you need transportation, we transport you. If you need housing, we house you.
Hey, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
When we shot the Crumbs, it was shot in Placerville, up in Hangtown in Northern California, at a 100-plus-year-old cabin. And we got the entire grounds with other cabins. And we housed the actors there.
Oh.
In the morning when they got up, they came in. The caterers are already there with breakfast. We had what time we start the day, and we move forward. But really, you can plan as much as you want, but if you don't have a crew that is tight with it, that understands it ahead of time, and is willing to go that extra mile, it still won't work.
Yeah,
we've been blessed with our crew. They've been awesome. Our actors have been awesome. I think we only fired 1 actor out of those 4 films on the first day of shooting Demon Fighter. Poor guy, felt so bad for him. We told him, okay, you walk up here, and we auditioned this part. It was a small part.
You knew what was coming on, yeah.
Yeah. We said, okay, you walk up here, don't touch the woman. Okay. First thing he did was grab the girl. I go, whoa, God, wait a minute. Don't touch the women.
Good. Was his name Fred?
No, it was not. Either. It was not Fred.
Oh, Friendly Fred.
I know. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we had to let him go. He got a little angry and upset, but he understood.
It's business, man.
Can't do it.
Well, I mean, that's his job, is to do what you guys told him to do. You know,
But do you guys use the same crew for the for your films?
Parts of. With cinematographers, we've gone through sound people. That's one of the more difficult ones. Yeah, exactly. The turnover.
We've gone through
same costumers, different makeup people, depending upon. The costumer's my wife, so there you go. There's the answer.
There you go.
Okay.
So that one's consistent then.
That one's consistent. Oh yeah. But we've been very blessed to have some really good people working for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what exactly are you guys, what are your roles or your titles, I guess? Just out of curiosity.
Well, Craig's the producer. We both work many jobs. At the beginning, in the pre-planning stages, we're both, he's the main producer. I'm quasi-producing. And then when we get on set, I'm the director, and Craig's the producer. And we stay pretty focused in our areas and what we're doing. We think it's important. We don't want to create an environment that is so lackadaisical that everybody just does what they want.
Right.
We don't want it to be so hung up strict that everybody hates you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a tough.
You got to have fun.
Yeah.
Well, and you can tell, even, you watch, big budget Hollywood movies that have all the money in the world, and you can tell when actors are just not having a good time doing their job.
Right.
That's right.
And it's just not fun. And it comes through.
Yeah,
that body language is huge. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things, I guess it's kind of an unconscious or subliminal kind of feeling that you get when you're just like, these guys, this isn't.
Yeah, they're not meshing.
Yeah. It's like you're watching our show where you're just like, these guys are, they're not.
They hate each other in real life.
Like, you can tell as soon as this is over, they flip each other off and leave. But no, I can tell, like I said, I can tell that you guys, it sounds like you guys run a tight ship, but that's kind of, it's a business. It's a business environment, and you gotta, you're there for a reason, and that's the way to go.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. So, what would you guys say is like the best or your favorite thing that you guys do? Like let's just say in any given movie, what's your like favorite part to actually, participate in?
I'll take a swing at that one. My favorite part is the last day of shooting when David says, "That's a wrap."
That's a wrap.
because like no joke, like when David says producing, we get asked oftentimes like, what does that really mean? Yeah. And that means like everything that you see in a film, our fingerprints are on it, everything. Right. So from the beginning to the end, it's exciting, but you have a lot of ups, you have some downs. So for me, it's two parts. When David said that's a wrap, we've got it. And that's a big sigh of relief. And then in the post-production process, when we're doing all these things, and then when we're editing, right? And then David and I, we just talk to each other and saying, well, I guess that's it. There's nothing more to edit. We've done all this. And it's like, then you get your film released with our distributor. So, the two parts for me is when it's released, but also when David says that's a wrap.
Yeah. That's a wrap, and it's in the can.
That's it, man. Yeah.
I enjoy directing. I enjoy working with actors. I enjoy helping them find the emotional qualities of a character and their motivations, where they're coming from. I'm a trained actor. That was my first thing, but I've naturally gravitated to directing. It's just something in me. I'm an innate teacher. I'm a professor as well, an adjunct at a number of colleges, and if I told you what I teach, you'd be like, what? Nothing to do with film. Any of this business. It's small. So,
okay.
Yeah, wow. whole different thing. But I entertain when I'm teaching, so I can't help it. But I love directing. But Craig's right. When we can call it a wrap, that is a very good feeling. We know we made our commitment. And then when we are done with it and we have the best that we could do with what we have, and trust me, Craig's eagle eye, we go over stuff like you wouldn't believe, little tiny 1/10 of a second of a moment that we think needs to be chopped off or whatever it is. Then we send it to the editors and we tell them what we want, what's going on, and they do their magic and it gets back to us. And fortunately, Craig does a lot more than he's really talking about. When we first got together, before Evil Down the Street was even complete, he had already been communicating with distributors. So much so, they were so enthusiastic that when the film was complete, we had 9 offers.
Wow.
We were blown away too. We're like, what?
That's
Did they watch it?
Yeah, exactly.
They do like us. David.
It's a great feeling, man. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, we kind of understand a little bit of that with, because we've been, we just do this, we do it for fun, of course. But like we've gotten, picked up by a couple people and have, people when they compliment us, it's like, us?
Really?
Yeah,
like, we're just like, we were just, just doing something, So I can only imagine, like I do marketing is my full-time job. And so I do a lot of video editing, design and stuff like that. And I know exactly what you mean when you say it's that sometimes that 1/10 of a second. So
yeah,
because if you don't, if it's there, it just that's the thing is it's your own creation, so you feel it. But it's one of those things where you're like, it's just not right this way. Like it's, and it's such a little thing that probably most people wouldn't even notice, but it would drive you insane knowing that you didn't do it.
That's right.
Like I can't tell you how many times because Allan edits the show, and then I go back and set up the video and do some other stuff. And so it's one of those things where I'm like, oh my gosh, this like one little and I'll hear it, after it comes out, and I'm like, oh, I if I forgot, I can only imagine with a movie like that where you have, I mean, because you don't get to do it again next week. That's the thing about us is we have a bad week, or well, I mean, again, Fred has a bad week, and then which is like every other week, and he says something about butts because he's into that, and and that happens a lot. So, but then next week we're like, well, at least we can try to be better this week. Obviously you guys all have that chance.
Right.
Yeah, I have a question about the musical score. So when you guys do all the stuff, do you guys talk to get the music and all that put in there, or does somebody automatically do it and then you guys listen to it, or what is the process of the score?
Yeah, our music composer for all of our films thus far has been Lance Warlock, and we spent a lot of time, especially David. David has a music background, so David is very specific with Lance as far as what we want in this scene and that scene, because if the music score isn't right, then the whole scene is essentially jacked. Right. So yeah, we spent a lot of time with our composer, David in particular. Again, like I'm saying, with his background in music, is very helpful of being able to communicate well to our composer what it is we're trying to have the scene emotionally. So yeah, to answer your question, you might want to add on that too, David, because sound design, music score is huge, especially in horror films.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah.
Music should be something that's there, but not dominant. Right. Something that drives and accents,
the tone,
but not up front.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It should titillate and move you towards an emotional response, and accenting the film. And this guy that we work with, Lance Warlock, I can start to tell him, okay, this scene represents this kind of an image and this kind of a feeling. And go, oh, okay.
I got it. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to, I was going to follow up with that question. Yeah.
Yeah. So
say, make it sad. And he's like,
you could have blown a fart or something and I would have stopped.
Sorry, keep going. No, I apologize. Okay. That was my.
There you go.
Unfortunately, that's our sound design. But so that's kind of, you just say, here's the emotion that I want to convey, and then let him go to work.
Well, we do and we don't. We actually get a little more detailed than that because we don't want to keep coming back and forth.
Sure.
Time is of the essence constantly. We always know that, and we're old, man. We don't have that much time. We need to get this stuff done now.
Yeah. We're not promised tomorrow. Yeah.
So when you're writing the script, when you're doing the script, is all that already in your head? This is the feeling it's going to be here.
Absolutely.
You're gonna you have all that already set up.
So not exactly the tones, the feelings, the emotions, and sometimes yes, the tones. I will think about it ahead of time, and I know what I want to hear and why.
Right.
And I'll express that to him. And it's kind of a weird thing. All of those combinations of art that are fused together. People ask us all the time, where do you come up with your ideas? And of course, the first response is smoking pot. And not everybody wants to believe that.
We believe it.
Get some good ideas.
This show was spawned from the same ideas, the same issue.
This is where the show came from.
Send me some. Send me some.
And it appeared to me.
I love it. Well, so has there ever been a show or a movie or anything that you guys like ended up you passed on and either regretted it or something that you were like, man, it's just not something we want to do?
Not really. We've changed things.
We have, David, in as much as we have written scripts. Let's say, actually, David has, that we have just put aside, that we're just saying, you know what? And not like we did all this work, it's for naught, but we're just not feeling it,
Right.
We don't have enough money.
Right.
We're just not feeling it for the next project. So maybe we'll set it aside, Yeah. But there hasn't been a project that we have passed and we have regretted that, or shot something and say, what the hell, man? That's it. We have to stop drinking so much when we're collaborating. I thought you said this was going to be a hit,
And I'm like,
no, I said it's shit. You're high, man.
Well, have you felt that too? Where you guys, when you wrap something, you're like, before you did get to see any of the footage, doing the editing, you're like, this is going to be great, or do you kind of just go into the editing like we don't know what we got yet?
No, we know what we got. It's always the best that we can do under the circumstances, and whether or not it is a hit is a subjective analysis.
Right. Absolutely.
Not objective. And that's where the audience comes into play.
There you go.
And I got to say this, the horror audience is just one of the most fantastic groups of people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They're just awesome.
Nicest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah. They don't care who's in it, who directed it, or who wrote it.
Yeah. If it's a good movie. Yeah. If it's good, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's perfect for us because nobody knows us. We ain't anybody. So it kind of really worked well for us.
Yeah, we just want to be entertained. That's
it.
Like
man.
when I watched them, I was like, I'm being entertained. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was like, this is good.
Well, and kind of to that point, Allan, that we shot Love and Quarantine, our first comedy, if you will. We thought, well, how's this going to play? Because our prior films have been horror/paranormal, if you will. So we thought, and also, Demon Fighter, we had the martial arts, of course. So we thought, how is this going to play? But thankfully, it's not like they're saying, look, we can do other things. We can watch other things. We just don't watch strictly horror films. Right. So thankfully, they've accepted our film well.
Mm-hmm. It's a good movie.
Awesome.
I mean, if you make a quality product,
right,
it speaks for itself.
There you go.
And that's what so far. I mean, I hadn't watched them all. But all the ones that I've watched, I've liked them all. I've enjoyed all of them. Yeah, I have. They've been real good.
Yeah, seriously, same thing. And I hope everybody who's listening checks the guys out at it's Linktree/CRA Entertainment. You can see a lot of trailers and where to watch everything. Tons of movies. Definitely well worth the time. We've had, obviously, like I said, this is awesome. We're learning so much. We always say this every week. But that's why we love having guests on, because we don't know much. If I'm being honest, when it comes, at least when it comes to the movie industry, and so it's so cool, like to be able to talk to you guys, and I can hear the experience in both of your voices. Yeah, you're both very great answers, very well thought out. So I can tell, you guys have been in this business for a while. I love it.
You think you should.
So
how long have you two been partnered together?
5 years, Craig?
5 years?
Over 5 years, Freddie. Okay. Over 5 years. Yeah, we were brought together by a mutual friend who was saying to David, "You need to talk to Craig, and Craig, you need to meet David." And we drug our foot, thinking, "Yeah, right." And then we spoke, and just one of those serendipitous things. God played a big role, and it worked out, man. It's just one of those things, fate.
That's awesome.
Yep.
We shot our first. Pardon me. We put our first film together over the telephone. Never met each other in person until the day before we started shooting. He lives in Orange County, and I live in Northern California.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That's a stretch.
So it was a little bit bizarre, but we knew.
Yeah,
we knew there was something that just clicked. The energy. We were both neurotic. We were both old. It just kind of worked.
We're both old. That's all we needed. Those two things.
Those 2 things. You're good.
I love that. That's a great story.
We got so much in common.
Yeah.
We hate the same things.
Yeah.
Right.
And we benefit because of that. Thank you.
Right. There you go. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
That's awesome. So when you said you guys had a bunch of, you tend to write scripts. Sometimes they kind of go to the side, they go off to the bench for them. Do you feel like most of the time you write something and you guys are, as soon as something's written, you're like, we got to start shooting this like right now? Or does it take, I'm just curious about like the kind of the turnaround from script to, film.
Yeah, there's always several months in between finishing of script and actual shooting. That's the pre-planning we were talking about, the pre-production planning. That's the most important part of the film, where we break the script down and by a lot of different factors. Create the shoot schedule, shot list, all that stuff, so that, as Craig already mentioned, first day we show up, everybody knows exactly what they're doing, where to be.
Yeah.
And the actors love that. The techs love that because you're not wasting their time.
Yeah.
You know, and time is the only thing measurable that we have in life. You know, you always know how much money you have, but you never know how much time you have.
True.
That's right.
Yeah. So it was really that. And, you know, when I met Craig, he had this enthusiasm about him. He had this optimism about him. And as a result, I just knew I could work with him. I'm not that I'm a very perfectionist type person, because you can't be in this business if you're a perfectionist. You can strive for all that, but you're not going to achieve it.
Right.
And we're very realistic about that. So we know what we got. We don't fool each other. I'll tell you a quick story. We were in the middle of shooting Demon Fighter, and we had finished. It came out of editing and post-production to Crumbs. And we got all excited. We're going to have a party for everybody here shooting Demon Fighter, and we're going to cater it, and everybody gets to see it. Oh, my God, it was horrible.
Well, the film, David, he's talking about is the Crumbs.
Yes, the Crumbs.
Yeah, we did a screening, everybody, because we basically stayed at the set house, a lot of us.
Right.
We had a caterer, we brought in food, and we had the rough cut, and Dave and I had been working on it, so we wanted to get their feedback, right? So we showed it, and Dave and I stayed in the back, so we're kind of like watching the body language and thinking,
right.
Oh, I don't think this is really going so well. And at the end, when it was done, it's like silence. We thought, oh, we are so
no. That's terrible.
But you know something interesting? Craig and I looked at the film, and we look at scenes as being dependent or independent.
Right.
Either they're dependent on the scene before or the one after it, and they have that nexus. There was one scene that was not, and it was such a eye-opening scene that we just yanked it out, put it at the beginning, left everything else the same.
Right.
And it was a whole different movie.
It was a whole different movie. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, you know, editing to me is probably technically the most important thing. I say that for every aspect, though. I start talking about the sound and I mean, there's no one job that's more important.
Right.
You know, everybody's just an incredible technician or actor or whatever. You know, and I'm an actor, Craig's an actor.
Yeah.
And we know what it is to be on set and working with directors and what we have to do. But oh my God, when you're the one in charge, you're the one putting it together, it all changes, man. It all changes.
Sure.
Yeah.
True.
Definitely know the feeling of that. Like having gone from being just a designer and marketer, and then now I'm the boss. Like that responsibility ratchets up so much, and you're like, nope, this is the way we're doing it. It's got to be done this way because it's my call now. So I have to make the right call every time.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. And a note to actors out there. Don't argue with the director.
Right.
Ask him to show you what's going on.
Yeah.
If you're not certain. When we did The Evil Down the Street, I had the pleasure of directing Kelton Jones. He took direction so well. I'm the kind of guy that says, okay, show me what you got. You know what the scene's about? Let's do it. Run it once. Boom. And then I start making adjustments. He was like that.
Picking it up.
Maria Olsen in the Crumbs, the same way. Chelsea Yerkowitz, Jeff Hatch, all these people, you know, N.J. Brown in Love and Quarantine. You know, you work with these actors who instinctively will listen in depth to what you're saying. They're not ego-based.
Right. Yeah.
They know that, and we tell them straight up, you're the actor. Well, this is our responsibility. We have a responsibility to other people. So please, just do it as the way we asked you, and let's get this done.
Yeah,
and we've been blessed to have an extremely cooperative acting crew and tech crew. Right. Very innovative people, very talented. We can't do this by ourselves. There's no way. Right. No way. It takes a lot of people looking at a common cause and saying, yes,
Yep.
Let's all work towards this.
There you go.
Well, how many people would you guys say is on the average film crew, like including the actors? I mean, 50, maybe. I'm guessing.
Depends on the film, yeah, Craig.
Depends on the film. Like Crumbs, we had, I think, 3,100. I mean, we just had.
I was way off.
and that. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey man,
yeah, you can tell us. We don't know.
Yeah, I believe you.
But that film, we had so many actors, and as producer, and we were shooting in Placerville. Now, I know you probably don't have much of a point of reference, but it's like out by itself, okay? And so we're bringing in actors from Sacramento, San Francisco, Los Angeles. Yeah. So I'm a nervous wreck. So I'm bringing them in the day before the shoot. I'm thinking, just please, baby Jesus, get everybody here, get them here safely, get them home. Right. And we did it. So the last person came in from LA, when we said, see ya, I was just like, oh, thank God. Yeah. Because that was, we just had a bunch of people coming and going.
Utah.
Yes.
Really?
Utah. Wow. So I had to go try to do the airport and get her and make sure. So that was logistically challenging, but again, that's where pre-production comes into play.
Right.
So everybody had the playbook. So just be adults and follow the playbook, and we'll be okay. And thank God we were.
Yeah. That's
crazy. That is. Well, if you ever need somebody to hit a button, hit a button and sound like this, just let me know. It didn't work.
He's out of gas again.
He's out of gas. Oh no!
You need to reload. You need to reload, Allan.
I was going to say,
eat some beans.
If we happen to fly out and be in the area where it's shooting, is there any chance we could at least be extras somewhere? Like,
if we needed something like that, absolutely. Yeah. But even if you have a speaking part of any sort, no matter how short, I'm going to audition you. And I don't care if you're SAG-AFTRA or this is your first time doing it.
Yeah,
you can take direction, and I'll know that once you do your audition. If I like it, Craig and I will get back to you and say, I'll make adjustments in that and say, I want you to now think of it this way and do this. And they come back. I'm like, all right, this person passes. I can direct them.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that counts.
Hey.
Everybody needs a first time.
Right.
Without that, we're going to run out of actors real quick. They're all dying.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Fred actually does have some movie experience. He was in a couple of films that were shot here locally for us. So he's kind of.
It was fun, man. I mean, like that really was like. I think I was on set for maybe 3 hours, and most of it was just standing around. But like that was like the most fun that I've had. Just doing that little bit. You know what I'm saying? I think I had like maybe a minute and a half in the movie. 3 hours for a minute and a half, but it was awesome.
Still, it's fun.
Yeah,
well, and you
fun.
can see how much, and you can see with that experience, Freddie, how much time goes on to set up for the shot. And you have actors, everybody just kind of milling around.
Right.
And somebody like David, the director and your cinematographer, getting the shot, getting everything else set up for a shot or a scene that goes
like that. Boom, it's over. Yeah. I think we did like my lines 2 or 3 times, and then he was like, "Okay, you're good, you're done." I was like, "That's it. That's
right
it."
On.
And then it took almost a year for me to see the finished result. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
we understand that.
Crazy. It was a good experience. I liked it.
Very cool.
It's amazing how much work goes into that.
Yeah, man.
So
really.
Cool,
some people call it a passion. I like to refer to it as more of a mental disease. you just, as an artist, and we all are artists, every human being on the planet, it's just how it's expressed. And it's going to come out one way or the other. Some people, inhibit themselves and don't allow it out. But if you're the type of person that we are, and we try to just let that out, it's really crazy at times. When we shot Demon Fighter, before we did the film, we wrote the script. And when we finished the script, I actually had somebody else in mind as who was going to be the lead. And after we read the script again, and we both liked it, we were going to shoot it. And then I told Craig, you know what? I think we should change the lead. And he says, well, why? And I said, nobody wants to see my old ass doing this stuff. Voted for me. And then I thought about it and I said, no, it's not about me. It's about the project. It's about the film. It's about CRA Entertainment producing something that people will look at and go, oh, I enjoyed that. Mm-hmm. So we rewrote the part and started searching around for the right guy. And we found Master John Azuna, who, by the way, holds 2 world records, fastest punch ever thrown, a number of punches in a minute, over 700.
Yeah.
In a minute?
In a minute. He's in
He's qualified to fight demons.
Yeah. Awesome. And he had acting experience, most of it being action type stuff, no intense emotional scenes or anything. But I auditioned him and I thought, I'll have to keep him on set at the set house, make sure he's housed there and work with him, but he's the guy. And that's what we did. We devoted ourselves to giving him acting lessons in that regard, not just being an action oriented, but let's be an actor. Let's do something different. And he busted his butt. He really did. And he came across, and we were very proud of that because of it. And he got to work with guys like Jeff Hatch, who he was in the Crumbs. He played Dr. Crumb. And then for this, he shaved all of his beard off and everything, and got involved in Demon Fighter. So it's a crazy world. I don't know how to explain it, because some people are like, "Why do you do this? Oh my God, this is bizarre. This is crazy." It gets frustrating. And at the end of every day, of course, Craig comes back with a couple of cases of beer. And, for the crew, because they need it. And we get them good and drunk so they'll fall asleep there and be there in the morning. Went off on us.
Great strategy.
There you go. They think we're being nice. Don't tell them that. Yeah. But no, we had great crew people working for us. So I think that's really what it's about, watching it come together.
Sure. Well, you have to be a little crazy to be able to be.
Well, my wife's thought that for many years. I've been married 44 years. Wow. She thinks that's absolutely crazy. And she finally gave in because she's into fashion design and that kind of stuff. I said, hey, you can be the customer. Come on.
Yeah, that makes perfect
sense. She went for it.
Oh, I bet. That's awesome. Hey, you got it. We're listen, Fred and I are both married, and so we definitely know sometimes you got to give a little bit to get anything.
Yeah, to get anything.
So you're like, we'll watch whatever that
is. Yeah. Emphasizing get anything.
To get anything.
Thank you for that, Allan.
That's funny.
That's
awesome. So yeah, I have a question for you guys, and you can say no to this if you want. That's fine. But I would like to pitch you a movie that the show has had in the works for, like I said, a number of years. And if you want to pass on it, that's fine. And I asked the question. I was trying to set you up with the question earlier about regretting passing on something. So once you hear it, I want you to be like, 20 years from now, you're like, oh man, I won so many Oscars.
So many Razzies. It won so many Razzies. We should have taken it.
Yeah, it would win all the Razzies. So Allan and I have been working on this movie since our probably our mid-20s.
Yes.
And I say by working on it, I mean we just came up with the title and then said one day we're going to make this movie.
Yes.
And said that. And then when I got you guys on, I was like, you know what? This might be my only chance to pitch it.
Sure.
Well, I got to admit, as an actor, I got cast, offered one of the leads in a film with Robert Downey Jr. and James Wood, True Believer, and it was the lead bad guy. And at that time, it was shooting right during a bar exam that I was going to take. I just graduated from law school. And I was so hyped up with law school, and I mean, that's a madness in itself, that I turned the part down for a lesser part. That's been my only regret in that in my career. Everything else was you do what you got to do. I got kids, and when I got out of UCLA with my degree, I was producing and writing my own plays and getting them done, but I wasn't making any money really. Mm-hmm. And I realized I needed to do something else, and that's how I ended up in law school. And while in law school, I did a television series with Carl Weathers called Fortune Dane that was shot in Oakland.
Carl Weathers.
Fortune Dane. I remember that show.
Yeah. It didn't last long. I think they didn't like at that time him running around getting all the white women. Yeah. Because this is a good-looking man. And
Carl Weathers looks great.
Action Jackson gets everything. He don't have to give anything.
Exactly. And my scenes were with him. Yeah. So I felt really good about that. But I agree. You got to pick and choose, and sometimes it's chosen for you. Mm-hmm. So.
And you never know. You make the best choice at the time, and whatever. And I mean, you had a career that was, as much as I know acting is a career, but law is. I mean, that's an equally lucrative career.
Yeah, that's lucrative.
So it doesn't have the same satisfaction at all.
Right.
I get that.
It doesn't have the same thrill. It doesn't have the same dynamics. Mm-hmm. Craig did Criminal Minds episodes and whatnot. And why don't you tell them about those experiences, Craig? Because I think they really put into perspective how he got into this. I've been chasing this crap since I was a kid. Yeah, off and on. He was already a retired mortgage banker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing this now for 10 years. And a really good friend of mine who was an actor, I ran into Lewis like 11 years ago at the gym right here in Orange County. And he booked a role on Tarantino's film Django. Now, back in the day, Lewis and Tarantino went through the same acting class. And, it's a funny story Lewis had that Tarantino sucked. And so it's a good thing he became a filmmaker. He said he was just horrible. But in the class, it was a talented class. Dina Davis was in there. Brad Pitt was the young kid. And they didn't think he stood a chance at all. Little did they know. Yeah. Jeff Goldblum was Lewis's roommate. So it was a really high-powered class. And so we were talking by the water cooler, and he told me about this role he booked. And he goes, every scene I'm going to be in, it's going to be with Leo DiCaprio or Jamie Foxx. And I said, oh, that's cool. And I just started asking him basic questions, And he said, why don't you come up to my academy on Monday? And I said, your academy of what? And it was for acting, And so I live in Orange County, and his acting academy is in Santa Monica. So that's, with no traffic to speak of, maybe an hour, a little over an hour from my house.
When's there no traffic?
And with traffic, 3 days. I mean,
so there's always right?
It's bad, man. I mean, going to LA is like, oh man, Santa Monica. Okay, Michael, how about if you guys just come down here this Monday? We can do it at my house. And, we can just do like charades or something. And so I went up there, and it's cool. I watched actors just doing their thing, And the next day he called me. He goes, so what do you think? I said, what do I think about what? He says, Craig, give this 90 days. I thought, oh my gosh. And but as a single dad, I always told my kids, always be open to possibilities, because if you have a negative mindset, you're not going to let anything good potentially come in.
It's true.
So I said, all right. So I was going to give it 90 days. And man, I sucked. I mean, like badly, really, really badly. And my goal was, I just don't want to be like that guy, the last guy picked for the basketball team. So, all right, we'll take numbnuts over there, And I said, oh, good, I got picked on a team. Being last is immaterial. Everybody's a winner. And so that's how it started. And but I worked really, really hard. I mean, really hard. And the challenging part was, as a mortgage banker, it's like you guys did the podcast. I mean, you knew what you're doing. You know, you're a professional. You know, you got it together. But when you throw yourself into the void of acting, I was like, oh my gosh, like memorizing lines and all of these things, and actors making it look so seamless, like they're all born with it, you know, this mental genius, like, oh, I can memorize anything. Give me Shakespeare. And then you have a guy like me, like, no, just give me like a line or two and I'm good. I have more than 4 or 5 lines. You know, the risk of failure goes up. I'm a banker. The risk of failure keeps going up and up. So that's how it started. But I worked really hard. It's kind of like a one-trick pony, but it worked well enough. Everything I've booked was films, except like what David mentioned, with Criminal Minds, which was kind of a funny thing because that was at the time like my favorite show on television. Wow. So, you know, of all the possibilities for television, it was Criminal Minds. But yeah, so my story could be anybody. I mean, there was nothing special about me. I've always liked movies, like we were talking about earlier, but I've always enjoyed movies, but I've never sat there thinking, oh yeah, man, I could totally do that. Making a film, piece of cake. Yeah. Acting, oh, hell yeah. No. But, you know, it's just God, when God shows up and you have some opportunities that come your way, just be open-minded. Because at this stage of my life, I really thought it'd be like, not really retired in mortgage banking. That all happened because of 2007, the whole mortgage thing. And we said 2008, forget about it. Yeah. But I thought, like, at this stage of my life, I'd be, you know, working 2-3 days a week, doing a couple of loans a month, happy as a clam. Yeah. Never did I think I'd have the good fortune of having God introduce me to David and being on a show like your guys' tonight. If anybody who knew me back in the day of mortgage banking, and for a long time, they laughed. They thought this was like a joke. Like, yeah, right, Craig, you lost your mind. But then they started seeing stuff like, all right, man, you know, go, you know, step it up. Let
me get your autograph.
We want to see you guys, you know, do something really good and win an Oscar or something, you know?
Yeah, no, we want to see that too.
Exactly. We want to see that.
That is such a cool story. I mean, that's the, you know, the power of perseverance, like you said, positive thinking and just taking the opportunities as they come. And
that's it.
You know, it's easy to say, it's not going to be good. That's not going to be good. Sometimes you got to take a chance.
Never know, man.
You know, that's amazing, man. That is just such a cool story. So now I'm going to take my chance.
That's right.
Because I got to do it. I got to do this to you guys, man. And I'm sorry in advance for this, but
go for it.
All right. Hold on. Let me take a sip of water. Oh, hold on 1 second. This is
yeah, right. Water. Okay.
I'm going to take a hit of some vodka here.
There you go. There you go. I wish I could. The problem is the other day we had one show where we drank a little bit during the show. And like I think I told, you know, we started out the show, I'm not a huge drinker. And so I had like, you know, 2.5 beers, which I'm a big guy, but I really don't drink. And I know that, trust me, I know it sounds like I'm basically like a 98-pound lady, but I was like 2.5 beers. And I was like in the zone where I could hear everything that was happening. And my words were coming out of my mouth, but I had no control over them in any way whatsoever. And afterwards, I listened to the show, and I'm like, "What the shit was I?"
Yeah, it was.
Where was I for this? You know. So I try to stick with water. You know, just for the show.
We had 30-second delays on the farts, and you know.
That was you. Man. It was awful. And that, you know, as you can tell, obviously, that's the backbone of the show.
As soon as I heard that, I knew we were going to have fun.
That's
right, my kind of guys eat beans.
We love our beans.
Yes.
So soybean is the leading crop here in South Carolina, and it's what we're forced to eat all the time.
We are.
So let me tell you guys about a little film, hopefully, called Revengeance II, Revenge of Revengeance. All right. So in the swinging 1980s. Oh, all right. Sorry. It's the swinging 1980s. And Dave Revengeance is a mild-mannered VCR repairman with a dark past. In a former life, Revengeance worked as an undercover cop investigating underground quokka fights in the brush of the Amazon outback. Or Australian outback, excuse me. In the brush of the Australian outback. But one day, he met his future wife, Hilda, and he decided to leave the underground quokka investigation game and return to his one true love, VCR and Betamax repair and servicing. Now, flash forward 5 years. Dave's life is great. He's madly in love with Hilda, and they have a young child. Everything is coming up Revengeance until one fateful day, when the tracking on Jack Diamonde's VCR is no longer working, and he brings it into Revengeance VCR and didgeridoo repair for service. As soon as Jack Diamande, former Grandmaster of the Quokka Fight Ring, recognizes Dave, or as he knows him, former fight trainer Allan Dropkick Fredrickson, the reality of the situation begins to dawn on him. Allan, of course, now he knows who's Dave, was the one that brought down Diamande's Quokka fighting empire and sent him to Australian jail for the last 5 years. So, with the rage of 1,000 dingoes, Diamande hatches a plan for revenge. In the night, he sets fire to the Revengeance VCR and didgeridoo repair and the apartment that sits above it, the apartment that Dave, Hilda, and little Ernesto call home. In the ensuing blaze, Hilda and Ernesto are trapped, unable to get out of the house before it's too late. When the action started, Dave was out on one of his late-night didgeridoo repair appointments, so he wasn't there to help save his wife and young son from the flames of revenge that Jack Diamande inflicted on his perfect family. So, once Dave returns after fixing so many different didgeridoos, he beholds a sight that would haunt his nightmares for years to come. Not only is his beloved VCR repair shop and home burnt to the ground, Diamande left his signature calling card, a half can of Foster's, which is Australian for beer. Dave immediately knows that his past has caught up to him and vows to revenge his family and VCR repair shop the only way he knows how. From this day forward, he will no longer be known as Dave Revengeance. To his enemies, oh no, they will only know him by their spilled blood and the name that strikes fear in the hearts of illegal Quokka fighting rings all over the land down under. Ernesto Revengeance. This year, Revengeance is a dish best served with a side of more revenge and Vegemite. Marion Van Peebles, potentially, stars in Revengeance II, Revenge of Revengeance.
Marion Van Peebles.
It doesn't have to be Australia. We can rewrite. You know, we're willing to change it. It just felt like it needed some Australian kick to it.
That was a lot more elaborate than I remember.
Yeah.
It grew on me because I was like, I can't. Okay, you know, again, obviously we're joking around, but if you ever wanted to make that movie, I'm totally down. You just give me like an executive.
He'll give you the script for free.
Yeah, I'll give you everything. I'll give you more.
You just gotta let him play one of the Quokkas.
You don't even have to let me do that. I would love to be Jack Diamande.
We should have gotten them high before we did this. That's where it came from.
Don't worry.
No, but yeah, because I was like, listen, you know, I'm not gonna. Again, same thing. You guys understand? If you're gonna do something, you got to do it. You got to do it. You can't just half-ass.
You got to go big or go home, baby.
Right.
Matt just went big. He went huge.
Big, and now it's time for me to go home.
Yeah, and Dave's like, you need to go home.
Some, like I said, don't make the same mistake with it every other one did, and pass on this potentially Oscar-worthy film.
I have only one question for you.
Yes, sir.
Is there a dingo in it?
There was a dingo, and I wrote him out.
He
that's what
kept
it was.
eating all the babies.
The rage of 1,000.
People love dogs.
Yeah.
No.
They love dogs in movies. That's why it lasted so long. Rin Tin Tin in the 50s, early 60s. They loved animals in there.
My dad loves the buddy movies.
There you go.
I can't stand them dogs. He loves those little puppy buddy movies.
It's amazing.
Christmas time's coming up. We're gonna have to watch Santa Buddies. I know it.
Gets to a prior statement. Art is subjective.
There you go. It is. It is so subjective. It really is.
It is.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, this is fun. This is great, guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad y'all.
I'm expecting, like I said, I'm expecting, some sort of letter, official, letter of interest after the show. We'll write it. We'll get
CRA Entertainment letterhead.
We hire you to be our lawyer to negotiate with you.
They'll letter and it say pass.
It would be honest, it would just ask you, what the hell are you smoking? Are you sure it's marijuana? I think you got some mushrooms rolled up in there somewhere.
It was a while back.
Actually, that's not so far-fetched. There's crazier movies that were made.
Right.
Remember what was it? the one about sharks falling from the sky and what?
Oh, Sharknado. Yeah.
Sharknado.
They made, what, 8 of those?
7.
They made 8 of those.
I know.
Jesus. You really got to ask.
And I watched
these people watching it.
I have to.
Yes.
You're looking at one of them right here.
Yes. That's me.
I always wanted to meet one of the people that watched it.
Dude, I did. I swear, like, I was like, let me see what the big fuss is about.
Yeah.
I'll watch the first one. And then they left it on such a cliffhanger. I was like, oh, I gotta watch the second one. And now I watch the second one. Well, I might as well watch 3. You know what I mean? And once you get to 4, it's like, okay, I gotta finish the saga.
Watch them for fun. Well, we had a discussion about that because I didn't know. I've never seen any of the Sharknadoes, and I guess just my detriment. But yeah, so they were telling me all about them, and I don't know what words I could say to say, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But I mean, again, it's the same thing. Like you said, I mean, people are watching it.
Yeah, well, for me, it was the cameos. You know,
the first draw was Tara Reid. Tara Reid was the first
had
draw
all the
cameos
in it, and it was like, let's see what this guy's doing. Yeah. That guy, you know.
And there's something to be said for
films. Really rest on who's in it.
Yeah.
I will watch a movie without really knowing what it's about because of an actor or a director.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I get pissed off that I watched it. But I will. I'll do that. And I watch a lot of movies. So I'm never surprised about, films and how crazy they can be.
Right.
I'm always amazed about how they get seen and who's seeing it. And when they become real popular, then that's when I'm blown away. And I go, I can write dumb stuff.
I just did.
It's not so far-fetched.
There you go. I'm telling you.
Like I said, no, that's amazing. Like I said, I can't. So let me ask you a question. You said you watch a lot of movies. Obviously, you're in the industry. What are, and I know this is a hard question, so take your time. Don't feel forced to answer anything. What are some of your favorite movies? Both of you guys.
There you go.
Go ahead, Craig.
Well, it's
a hard question, I know.
Well, the first 2 that come to mind for me, Wizard of Oz and Frankenstein. Those would be my number 1, followed by number 2. That I remember as a kid, once a year, Wizard of Oz would come out. I think it was CBS, but it was a big deal. It would have, like all the neighbor kids were at my house, we'd be at their house with popcorn. It was a really big deal. And then, I was raised on black and white horror films, and the first was Frankenstein, and until they kind of bastardized it, it's sort of like Abbott and Costello, with comedy. But those would be my 2 films, 1 and 2 right there. How about you, David?
Obviously The Wizard of Oz too. I just saw it the other day with my granddaughter. She's going to be 10, and on our big screen here at home. And it's such an excellent film. It's one of the most well-made films ever made. The acting, the directing, the musical score, everything about it. So I love that movie. And it's very nostalgic, and it brings me back to the same situation that Craig was describing. But man, there's so many good movies. I love The Godfather, Alien. I mean, Scorsese films. There's so many good films. The Haunting, The Exorcist. I mean, we can go on and on and on. So it's really difficult for me to choose through all those films which are my favorite, because they all start to go, well, this one's really good, and I really like this one.
But I forgot about that. I know it's a tough question.
In a fruit stand, I can't make up my mind. I like this one.
I get it. No, I totally get it. I mean, all those movies you mentioned are excellent.
They just kick butt. Even Gone with the Wind. As racist as it was,
the film
and understand something. The actors in it were not. I mean, they were not racist at all. The subject matter was racist.
Subject matter,
yeah. But the film is so well made. Oh my gosh, and you watch that and you go, how'd they do that?
Yeah.
When they show all those rebel soldiers and they start off with just a few. And he pulls back and widens out as he does it, and you see him look like football fields of all these people dead, and what's going on. I mean, it's an amazing film, the acting and everything else. So modern films, older films. I, like Craig, I was raised on horror films, Hitchcock films. And it's hard to not say those directors, those films are classic.
Yeah.
So when people ask me what film would I recommend them to watch, my general answer is, well, anyone you can. But if you're looking for a specific thing, if you want to follow a director or a specific actor, then I'll name certain films. Right. What I think it might help somebody, watch them. And seldom will I watch a movie more than once unless it is really good. And I've seen the Godfather series, all of them. I loved the first two. The last one I was a little disappointed with. Yeah. But the sequel to the original Godfather, the second film, wow. Yeah. Just wow. I mean, you hard to deal with that and make criticisms about it in any way. Yeah. So it's a tough question, but I appreciate you asking because you got me sitting here rolling through my mind.
Yeah.
You'll be watching, you'll be like, oh, yeah. You just feel free to tweet the show, and tell us when you do figure it out in like 3 weeks when you're like, you know what? That's how long it's going to take. And that's why, and like you said about the Godfather films, that's why we went straight to Revengeance II. Revenge of Revengeance. Because we felt like the sequel, and then we can do the prequel later. That's it's going to be it's great. It's going to make perfect sense. When it comes out eventually.
The Australia Underground Queen. I gotta see that.
Sorry, Mario Van Peebles. So if you by chance have any connection to Mario Van Peebles, one of our huge goals of this show is to get him on this show in some way. And I've tried a lot of things to reach out to him. I mean, I haven't been able to get to him yet, but we're going to keep our efforting because we just want to talk to him. We love some of his movies. We reviewed American Warships, and some other movies of his. We love, we love camp. We love movies that aren't the the $100 million budget.
Yeah, see, I like the independent film.
Movies,
Right.
Well, I like the independent film because you guys are really doing it because you love it. You ain't doing it for the money. You ain't doing it for the notoriety. Right. You're doing it because you love it.
Right.
And I think they've seen our books, Craig.
I
don't know how you knew that.
You know what I mean? You're not doing $100 million production.
Yeah. You're doing it for the money, but you also do it because it's your passion.
Yeah. And not one of our films has cost $100,000. Not one of them.
Really?
Yeah. They've all been between 30 and 60, 65, something like that.
Okay. That is really amazing, actually.
Yeah, that is.
And they're good. I mean, the camera work is good on it. The soundtracks are good. That's why I was asking about the soundtracks and stuff, because even the camera work, you can tell with the camera and the angles. And see, I do music, so I pay attention to stuff like that. And I like the way the guys do the camera angles. And then like somebody's on the computer, instead of showing it like on top, you do it on the side so you can actually see the person's reaction, or just little things that I noticed when I was watching. Thanks. And that's why I was asking about that, because it was like, yeah, that's pretty cool how they they're not $100 million films, but they look good.
Yeah, and they're well made. Yeah, like you said, there's something to be said for that, for just doing it right and making purposeful choices throughout the, everything's done for a reason. It's not just because, that's the way everyone else does it. We do it. This is how we want to do it.
Yeah.
Parker, I just sent to you in Facebook Messenger contact information for Mario Van Peebles.
Look.
It's the greatest day of my life, guys. Seriously.
You get the gas.
God damn it. This show's doing something, friends.
Yes.
Best day ever. So, thank you so much for doing that. Of course, again, thank you both, Craig and David, for your time. I know
thank you.
A little earlier there, but CRA Entertainment, guys, seriously, we're not, by no means are we joking around. These guys are awesome. Obviously, you've listened to them. They're amazing guys to talk to. We're going to do everything we can to get you guys on again.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any projects upcoming that you guys want to talk about before we get out of here?
Right now, we're focused really big time on our marketing of these 4 films and the 2 that we just released. And we're going to make a decision on the next script probably around April, end of March, what we want to do next. We have a few scripts that we've been messing around with. They're complete, but as to which ones we want to do, one we started to do that we really wanted to do, it's just outside our budget. So we don't let our ego get in the way. We said, okay, we have to put that on the shelf.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense right now to do. And we run a company, and what's good for the company. And our motto is to entertain, inform, and hopefully enlighten. And if we don't get enlightenment or even inform, as long as you're entertained, we did our job.
There you go. I love it. So again, guys, CRA Entertainment. There's Craig and David. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Yes.
I'll get you guys back on you said right around March, so maybe in mid-February to pitch Revengeance III. Or we also had Revengeance I, which is subtitled Revengeance I: Rise of Revengeance. That's
I never put ego in it.
There'll be plenty. If that's what you say, sir, we're gonna put. It's going to be all dogs, the whole cast. And I think, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if that worked. We had to do like the thing where we put peanut butter on their lips like they did Mr.
Ed. No, we're telling ourselves. Yeah, we're
Mr. Ed approach. No, I love it.
Oh, that's funny, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys
very
so much.
much, guys.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. Maybe with some more of the Black Lincoln Collective podcast.
The Black Lincoln Collective podcast will return after a word from our sponsors.
Hey kids, this is Steve.
And this is Ryan.
And we are the Ryan Hates Everything podcast.
Here's what people are saying about our show.
Jen from Akron, Ohio says, funny as fuck, but hard to masturbate to.
Joe, a longtime Black Lincoln Collective listener from Columbia, South Carolina, writes, Ryan Hates Everything is what the Black Lincoln Collective would be if they had full-size dicks.
Boomer Frank from Naples, Florida says, so funny that I actually shit my pants. No, seriously, I shit my pants. So you guys owe me money for a new pair of underwear and my dry cleaning bill, except the letter from my attorney. A new episode available every Friday at 5 a.m.
Because unlike these BLC fuckers, we'll be there for you when you wake up.
Listen to the Ryan Hates Everything podcast.
Available on every major streaming platform. Paid for by Fred for Governor 2022.
You're listening to the Black Lincoln Collective podcast.
Welcome back to the 68th episode of the Black Lincoln Collective podcast. Seriously, guys, I can't say it enough. We absolutely love those dudes. CRA Entertainment.
Yes.
Please check them out whenever you can.
CRA?
And if they, I swear to God, we will rename 10 episodes in a row, CRA Entertainment. If we get Marion Van Peebles, it will be the Black Lincoln Collective podcast presented by CRA Entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That most definitely sponsored.
Most amazing thing. And he actually did do that. Like, you heard, I'm not kidding. We checked.
Right.
He actually sent me the information. This is amazing. Best day ever. Best fucking day ever, Allan.
Yes. Oh,
but
yes.
You know what, Fred? I have to tell you this.
One
thing that didn't make this week the best fucking day ever, however that works, is, Fred, we didn't win one single Canadian podcast award.
Well,
which is strange because we're not Canadian.
We're not, no.
And I just assumed that would give us a chance to win.
I may look like Drake, but
you do look like you sing like Drake, buddy.
Yeah.
Drake, you see Drake's getting sued? Drake
no,
in Vogue magazine.
Vogue.
Jay-Z and Drake, I guess, are releasing an album or something, and they did like a mock-up, like for the album cover, like a fake Vogue magazine cover, and so like Vogue magazine.
Dude, how that's just like, how soft is that to be getting sued by Vogue? I mean, like,
right? And like, why would you do it? Why did it have to be Vogue? I guess
Vogue, that's like a woman's. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. What's anything? I didn't even know magazines existed anymore.
No, who's magazines?
Remember back in the day, magazines were huge.
Magazines were huge.
Remember titty magazines? For
I'm like, you know, I live out in the country and shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you go out there in the woods and you find like an old one,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's been like in the dirt for like
Up against
5
the tree.
years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you picked it up and you never
And you
thought, I
picked
wonder
it up and
what
looked
the
at it
last guy
too.
did with
Yeah.
it.
He's like, ooh.
It's true. You're like, look at those, those washed out, wet ass, like the way paper like crumbled up.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at
got
it.
termite
You're
holes
like, oh, yeah.
in the middle of her bush.
That's
You know what I'm
I
saying?
remember when you used to have like, and kids don't remember this, when you had cable, you had the pay-per-view channels at the end and they scrambled them unless you paid for it. And so you'd like watch it for hours. I remember
there were hours
13-year-old me sitting at home. Yeah, and occasionally I'd see like a green titty.
And it was always crooked
Freeze frame.
sideways. Yeah.
Like freeze frame that. Yeah, like one titty right in the middle. All the time. Dude.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, Fred, I
wasn't
know
a
there's a
titty.
lot going on, but I have to give you guys a real quick Black Lincoln Collective podcast recommendation. You guys need to check out our friends at Ryan Hates Everything, their podcast. Funny dudes, like really super cool dudes. Check them out. Anyway, Fred, they are the ones who are sponsoring this week's weekly installment of one of our longest running segments ever.
Oh,
Fred.
yes.
It's time. Alan, do you have music?
No.
He does. You're supposed to have music.
Okay.
We said 7 things of music for this.
All right.
Hold on. All right. It's time for our returning segment that we do all the time. And if you haven't heard it, you haven't been listening to the show. Obviously, it's time for
this is
Freddy's
funky.
International Linguistic Education Symposium Weekly.
This is some funky music. I like it.
This is some symposium music, Fred.
Okay, so
Give us
you
some
tell me what do you want? You want the British? So what I've got?
What are
for
you doing? Set up
what
your,
I got.
your thing.
Yeah, what I got for you this week is these are American terms and their British equivalents.
Okay.
So
all right.
I'm gonna give you there's an American word for something.
On playing cards.
So I'm gonna give you an example right now.
Answer the question. Are they on playing cards, Fred?
No, they're not. What are you talking about?
Okay, thank you. Fred's like dealing blackjack.
It's my lucky 2 of diamonds, man.
Oh, is that the only?
It's my lucky 2 of diamonds.
Is the 2 of diamonds is your lucky card? You are not good at cards.
I hit 4 of a kind with this 2 of diamonds. Leave me alone.
All right.
So I'm gonna give you an example.
The British or
in America, we call it the bathroom.
Okay.
And in British, yes, it's the loo. So this is what we're going for.
Okay. So we get to pick which one we want to do.
Yeah, which one? You tell me American term first or British term first.
All right, I'm going to let Alan guess these first because I've watched a lot of British television in my life and I probably know some of them. All right. And wait, how many of these are there? Were you keeping score?
I got a bunch of them.
You got a bunch. Okay, so we're gonna do 10, Alan.
You're gonna do 10,
all right. And we're gonna see who wins.
All right.
All right. So Alan, you pick first. English or Canadian? Or English or fucking English? What? How are we gonna know the difference?
American English or British English?
Do you want? So you can ask for the American word, and I will give you the American term, and you can tell me the British, or I can give you the British.
Okay, give me the British.
You want the British? Okay.
Give the British.
Okay.
Great.
So the first one, a corgetti.
That sounded Italian as shit, Fred.
I know, but I mean,
that's a corgetti.
Corgetti. It does sound Italian.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Yeah, can you use it in a sentence?
Hello, mate. No, that's no, hold on. Hello. Okay. Excuse me. Can I have a corgetti salad?
Isn't it lettuce?
So terrible.
Is it lettuce?
This is a Cobb salad.
A zucchini.
A zucchini?
Okay, so zucchini. I wish we could put these words. Maybe we'll have to put these words on a post. A zucchini is a corgetti.
A corgetti.
Yeah.
A corgetti.
Governor, give me a corgetti, will you?
There you go. That sounds so much better.
No corgetti in me stir fry, mate. Don't think anything of that zucchini. All right, so no points for anybody. All right, Fred, I would like to hear the English word or the American English word. Let us guess what it is in British.
Okay, so what is the British term for toilet paper.
Ooh. Ass napkins. I don't what do you
bum bags. You got any bum bags?
Is it really bum bags? No. Okay. I was like, holy shit. Alan, what's your guess?
What's the word again?
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper. Have you ever heard of it?
Toilet paper. Ass wipe?
Close.
A bog roll.
Bog roll?
A bog roll.
Okay.
Yeah, bog roll.
Bog roll shortage.
All right, now I'll give you 2 easy ones.
All right.
Like for each of you.
Speed
so
round.
you should know. What do you want?
Just guess the first 2, Alan, then I'll guess the second 2.
All right.
This is power rounds, Fred.
So who is
0-0, by the way. Alan's going first.
Alan's going first. So you want the American term or the British term? And like I said, this one's pretty easy. So
I think you just pick it. Just give it.
Just pick it. Just pick
it. Okay.
Yeah, wild card.
I just said the word. A bum bag.
A bum bag.
A bum bag.
Oh, I think.
What's the English? What's the American term for a bum bag?
What, a bum?
I think diaper.
Oh yeah, a diaper.
No, it's not a diaper.
No,
it's not a diaper. It's a fanny pack.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a fanny pack.
I was in the wrong direction with hemorrhoid.
Yeah. All right. Crisps.
Oh, those are chips.
Yes.
Like
potato chips. Okay.
Easy one now. I watch a lot of British TV, so if it's food related, I'm probably gonna get it right. Except
if a British guy came up to you and said, "Hello, governor, you look gobsmacked,"
that means you look like you're stoned or stupid, right?
No.
Surprised.
It is astonished.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's 1 point for Alan.
Right,
what else you got?
How about a mailbox? What do you think they call a mailbox?
A cherry whipple. I have no idea.
Go get the cherry. The mail.
Cherry whipple's damn late. Right?
Keep ordering too much Amazon.
British now.
I can't fit it all in your cherry.
That's right.
The cherry whipple.
My package is too big for your cherry whipple, love. So I left it on your back porch. There it is. All right. So I don't know. Alan, what's your guess for a toilet? A toilet? Or wait, what was it?
A toilet?
A mailbox.
No, what's a mailbox?
Oh, a mailbox.
Might be a bum toilet. I don't know. They might call
let me
that
see. A mailbox would be a paper hole.
No, it's a pillar box.
Pillar box. Oh, okay.
Pillar box. Okay, you said diaper. So what do you think they call a diaper?
Like a, what do you call it? I don't know. Like a bum.
No, it's totally different. It's not anything to do, but
it's a teto.
Call it a nappy.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that now.
You heard that?
Yeah, nappy. I knew. I can't remember it obviously, but I heard that. Once you said it, I knew what it meant. All right, what else you got? Give me.
I give you one more.
All right, one more.
How about a sweater?
A toasty. A toasty Wimbledon flop.
A sweater.
Toasty Wimbledon flop.
What do you think, Alan? Like a bread bun, they probably call it some weird.
A sweater is probably some guy that sweats a lot.
They call him King George. Oh no, I didn't go there.
Yeah, I was a sweater.
He's a sweater, all right.
It's a jumper.
Now explain the English.
Now, what is a jumper?
No, like that's what a sweater is.
Yeah, we don't know what a jumper is.
Okay.
There you go.
So it's a sweater for us.
Yeah, a sweater is they call it a jumper.
See, I thought the sweater was in the British.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No, we thought no. I didn't.
Even though I was going to get it wrong, I mean, I still
I didn't think that but a jumper is also a thing.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's a
jumper.
Ain't that like a onesie? Ain't that like a onesie?
Is that for like kids? Oh yeah,
that's a union suit.
Yeah,
that's for them to jump in.
A union suit?
Yeah,
that's a speed suit.
Union suit. That has the thing in the back with the button, so when you take a dumpy, when you take a grumpy, you just
grumpy.
put the thing down.
Stick out your bumpy.
Yeah, be like, You'd be like, hey, Governor, what you doing?
Hello, Governor.
How you doing, Governor?
Some button now, love. So don't go around to the rear and get your flipper flops. So, all right. Well, I don't know who won that. I'm going to be honest with you. 0-0. I think I did 1-1. I think we both didn't do great. So that was Fred's International Linguistic Education Symposium Weekly. Get ready next week, guys.
We'll do Cantonese.
A whole new thing. It's going to be Japanese. It's going to be lovely. I can't wait. So, thank you guys. We'll be right back.
Bushy.
With a little bit more of the Black Lincoln Collective podcast. All right, I don't know why I did that. All right.
No, we're not going nowhere. We're not going nowhere.
Okay, I'm cool to keep going. Yeah, no, that's fine. All right. Well, welcome back.
Again.
So, again, I just said it twice, right? I have some questions for you, Fred. Can I pitch a movie to you, Fred?
Go ahead.
It's a movie called Revengeance II. I do want to know about, so those guys they were talking about, I wonder if we could, I do seriously wonder if we would. I feel like that dude would be like, yeah, you do need to come and actually, you can get rid of the credit, Allan. Because it's no longer time. Wipe it away. It's no longer time for Fred's International Linguistic Education Symposium Weekly. Perfect. Not at all. We'll edit that in post. Anyway, so no, they were talking about. I do feel like no, we won't. I know we won't. I knew that already. I feel like they would be like, yeah, dude, you got to come audition to do.
Oh,
do it. I would totally do it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We would fly the show out. If we do, guys, we're gonna pimp the shit. You think we pimp tater mids? You've seen nothing like the pimping we would do, even if we had a momentary part in a movie.
Yeah.
What if we can talk Marion Van Peebles and letting us in his next movie?
Oh man, American Warships 2.
American Warships 2, Electric Boogaloo.
They need the aliens return. The only one that can save the world is the Black Lincoln Collective.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Ooh, that's hot. That's what the world needs is podcast cinema. What does that mean? Why aren't podcasters making movies? Well, the good ones are.
Oh, shit.
All the good ones do.
That's funny.
But no, dude, I just imagine that would be amazing. So anyway, yeah. So like I said, even if we could just be in the background. But electric. Okay, so that was what I was saying. So American Warships 2 should be American Warships 2. Ship happens.
Ship happens.
I really do feel like I would love if they were just like, hey, we're trying to write a comedy, a horror comedy. I would love to do that. That would be awesome. I'm not going to do it right now because it took me like a week to write the other thing. But, it was funny. I hope. Maybe not. We'll see. No one's listening. No one's listening at this point. We're just rambling on. That's live stream action. No, so yeah, Fred, you got anything else going on this week, buddy?
Man,
there's one thing we got to talk about.
What are we going to talk about?
It's sports news, and Allan doesn't have the cue. I know he doesn't. He's not ready for it.
Sports
Allan,
news.
Sports news.
And
we'll end the show after sports news.
All right.
There it is. Sports. Yeah. All right. So Baggate cheating scandal rocks professional cornhole world. The Baggate cheating scandal is being touted as one of the greatest controversies in the history of the sport of cornhole, Fred.
What?
Cornhole.
Yeah.
Where you throw the bags of corn.
Yeah.
I guess that's where it came from. I don't know what a cornhole is.
Yeah, I believe that's what it was.
So, but why?
Well, I know
I guess maybe that was a hole
the word cornhole comes from something else
before it was anything else. But anyway, a cheating scandal dubbed Baggate has sent shockwaves across the professional cornhole world. Of course, it had to start here. The controversy sparked in August of 2022 at the Cornhole League World Championships. Where at, Fred? In your own home state of South Carolina.
What?
Where else would it be, Fred?
Where at in South Carolina?
I will have the show researcher
probably
look that up.
Bluffington.
While I'm still talking.
It's probably at a rest area.
So, playing it on the side of the highway.
Yeah, it's cornholing at a rest area.
Like it's at a Hooters in Darlington.
Yeah, it's a Hooters parking lot.
So
the old abandoned Kmart.
It was in. All right. I'm gonna let you guess. One of the second tier maybe not. Cities in this state, probably second tier, top 7 city in the state, probably.
Columbia?
No, Columbia is top 26.
Yeah,
I would say
you're not gonna guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess.
You're not gonna get it.
Yeah, it's gonna be in.
It's not gonna be any of the ones you think of the first time.
Conway?
No, close. Good guess. Not
really.
It was held in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Right.
The road.
I keep thinking Rock Hill's in North Carolina.
It's basically outside of Charlotte. It's basically part of Charlotte.
Yeah.
So nowadays, essentially, it's that and Fort Mill. So anyway, I'm not going to use names because I'm not trying to incriminate anybody. But one player filed a formal complaint against another player. Oh, 2 other players, claiming the number 1 ranked doubles team used illegal bean bags.
Illegal bags.
Player 1, who we'll call Devin Harbaugh. That's a made up name. That's not him, probably. Said, I thought the bags were too thin. There's a $15,000 purse on the line.
$15,000.
Yeah, $15,000 to win. But that's not that much. I mean, that's a lot of money, but it's not like, I mean, you got to think.
For playing cornhole.
Yeah, but you got that's competitively playing it. Like these aren't, you think you can just show up and be like, hey, buddy, I would like to play with backyard.
No, I've seen it.
You're the number 3 ranked team. Just because you came in hot. You brought your own bags, you're ranked number 8. Let's go.
It's a bring your own bag tournament.
Bring your own bag, you automatically jump up the ranking.
It's a bring your own bag tournament.
BOT. BYOB.
Yeah, BYOB. Yeah,
BYOB, bring your own bag.
Perfect. It's the slogan of our show from now on.
You got to bring your whole set.
Yeah, bring the whole shit.
Bring the whole shit. We short too.
Yeah, you're gonna have to use mismatched bags now. Can't do nothing about that. After the complaint was lodged, officials performed a bag inspection, which sounds like however,
bend over and cough.
However, get this. The others, let me see your bags, boy. Yeah. The other 2 people who were not going to say their name, but let's just call them Lopez and Richards, also wanted the opponent's bag to be inspected as well. Turns out none of the guys were using regulation size bags. All cheating. Officials. Okay, so they ultimately decided they weren't intentional and they let the thing go on. But he said it's possible, but I'm pretty confident it wasn't intentional. That shit was intentional.
Yeah, that shit was intentional as fuck.
Hell yeah.
And so Lopez, the guy we're calling Lopez, claimed, I don't know how they became illegal size. We did not boil the bags.
They boil their bean bags.
I guess that's how they do it.
They boil their own bean bags.
Like, my bags.
I'm about to boil my bags.
Go ahead, man. Stick your bag in that water, man.
Yeah, boil them up.
That's high.
This is okay. So, and this is my favorite. This has got to be my favorite thing. Someone on the Addicted to Cornhole Facebook page, which has 85,000 members.
Oh my God.
Now he said it's funny that you think it's funny that anyone believed it would be all. Oh, hold on. It's funny as hell that anyone believed it'd be all friendship and rose petals forever in cornhole. Now the dirty underbelly is being exposed.
The dirty underbelly.
Yeah. Well, cornhole's fast. It's a fast growing sport.
Yeah, no. I seen. I watched the tournament on ESPN, and it was sponsored by Manscaped.
They said the top. Well, who else would do it? The top players earn around $250,000 from annual earnings, endorsements, and sponsorships.
Man, come on,
that's not bad.
That is great.
That's not bad, great. Man. What does it take to be a top player? Alan, I'm going to get Mario. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call Marion Van Peebles, and I'm going to ask him if he knows anybody from the professional cornhole league. And be like, Mr. Van Peebles, we really want you on the show, but more importantly, do you know Jeff Driscoll? You get us connected with him. We really want him. And of course, from
the USCH.
Yeah, the gentlemen who do this are exactly like me. They're exactly what you expect them to be. I'll pull them up for you for a second, just so you can see.
Oh yeah, I've seen them, dude. Yeah,
yeah, you know what these guys. They're just lovely gentlemen. There's some of the gentlemen that participate. It's exactly who you would expect to do.
Talking about Bush Beans.
They're sponsored by
Bush's Baked Beans. Hell's yeah, Fire Cornhole. Now that's hilarious. If their name is Fire Cornhole, that's this one right here. That's awesome. It is Fire Cornhole. Look, maybe that's your team name.
Fire Cornhole.
Cornhole on fire. So, Fred, it's the biggest controversy in sports this year.
Oh my goodness!
I just need you to weigh in. Do you think that
bigger than Kyrie Irving?
Bigger than the midterm elections? Really? I'm being honest.
Not as big as the mullet championships.
No, not as big as the mullet championships. We're gonna have to get to. That's gonna need more.
Somebody got caught cheating in that too. He was wearing extensions.
Your weave is illegal. They're out.
It was Devon.
Yeah. God's drapes. God's extensions.
You're out. Andre Agassi from 1989 with your amazing mullet.
Yeah.
Kenny Powers.
Kenny Powers. Kenny Powers.
Joe Dirt is on the list of greatest mullet. Patrick Swayze as well from Point Break.
Yeah. What about Garth Brooks?
He is on. I believe he's on there.
Garth
Blake
Brooks
Shelton is. No, Billy Ray Cyrus is.
Yeah, that's who it was. Billy
Jared
Ray,
Allen, Jarmer Yager, and Randy Johnson. Which Randy Johnson? And
Mario
Lopez.
Any hockey player.
So yeah, pretty much any hockey player from up to this day.
John Crook.
Randy Johnson
Didn't John Crook have one?
Dude, I seen a mullet the other day, man. That shit was crazy. That mullet, it's coming back.
It is. Well, all that
it's back. Yeah, it's back. Yeah.
And like people are skilled enough to like do it.
Oh yeah, to like cut it up. Yeah.
Like, and I feel like most people's would look really cool, but mine would look, because I was alive in the 80s,
yeah,
90s. Mine would look exactly like an old ass mullet, and people would be like, "That's weird." That's the thing is, if you live through the decade, your hair can do that.
Yeah.
So
like, but I'm not doing that. I mean, that's for the younger kids. Like,
no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
Like, I'm not. I could grow a box right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna be 45 years old walking around with a box on.
Awesome.
I'm not doing that. Because it'd be all salt and pepper, gray. No.
We'll look like bitching. We could go hang out on street corners and be like, "We're cool too, kids." Like, hey, fellow kids.
Go get some, some parachute pants.
Yeah, where are we hanging tonight, gentlemen? What's on fleek tonight?
Yeah, what's on?
No capping, dog.
Look at me, I'm snatched.
Jack said cap the other night to his sister. He was like, "Cap," and I was
That's
like,
cap.
"That's enough. You can't say that. Like, you're not cool enough either."
Yeah. Just say you're lying.
I'm just saying, be like, no, thank you. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for listening. We had a great show. Again, check out CRA Entertainment. Check out the Ryan Hates Everything podcast. Cool dudes. We'll probably have them on in the near future. And have a rocking weekend. Eric, proud to hear everything. You're kicking ass.
Yeah, good job, Eric.
Keep doing it, buddy. So, peace out. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I'll see you later.
We are laughing. And we are very good friends. Good buddies, sharing a special moment.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Just hang loose, blood. She gonna catch up on the rebound on the Mets side.
Get to the chopper!
Oh, what a day. What a motherfucking day.
Well, that's all, folks.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Goddamn hip. Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
As you know, I'm a man of special needs.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
This
conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
Stay classy, San Diego.